of people believe that when I leave Nigeria, the way they will say, oh, when I leave the ghetto, come abroad, everything is going to be fine. I can tell you, you'll be disappointed. It's not going to be fine.
There is this mindset we have, when people want to travel outside the country, and then you are right in the UK, you are looking at what you imagined versus what you are currently facing. So, do you want to really explain to us what was your imagination? What did you actually meet?
Okay, I think my scenario is quite different. When I left Nigeria, I was single. Before I traveled, I've always been kind of independent. Independent in the sense that I've always lived alone.
Okay.
So I don't want to use the word I was in the street. That's is not the right word to use.
Okay.
I was independent. I already understood that no matter what happened, there's always a way out. And then let me make this clear: there's always a direction to everything that a man should do on earth. Because I believe majority of the people that will be listening, they are Christians. We also believe through this medium, people also get to know Christ. So there was not so much imagination with me, to be fair. That's why I wasn't disappointed, because a lot of people believe that when I leave Nigeria, the way they will say, oh, when I leave the ghetto, when I come abroad, everything is going to be fine. I can tell you, you'll be disappointed. It's not going to be fine. Because look at it like this, that you are living a system. Maybe you are 20 years or 30 years old, so you lived your life in a particular place for the past 30 years. You don't think it's going to be rocket science when you move to another country and then you just achieve what you couldn't achieve for the past 30 years. It doesn't work that way. So even if you are here, or you just arrived, or you are planning to come, don't overthink it. Don't expect too much from the system, because think about it. What you could do for yourself for the past 30 years, there's no system in this world that is going to do it for you for 1 year. So life is a process. Don't overthink it. One step at a time, and then you will not be disappointed. For me, there was nothing in my mind. Yeah, I was just like that little boy that left home with a bag, and then with the belief that God is going to make a way for me.
Good day, everyone. My name is Isaiah Akiola, and you are welcome to the Chat Circuit podcast. And today, I'm happy and excited to invite or to bring someone right on this podcast. This particular episode is going to be based on life in the UK, right? And because we have a lot of Nigerians that are actually in the UK, and it's very important that we pass the right knowledge, right, for people that are actually not in the UK, but they are in Nigeria. It's important we pass out the right information, the right idea, the right mindset towards people that are actually here. And also for people that are in Nigeria, it's important for them to also understand the perspective in which some people relate to them. And maybe you are looking forward to actually start the processing and all of those things. So this podcast is that very podcast that will give you clarity, right? Good day, sir. It's very nice to have you on this show, the Chat Circuit podcast. So we'd like to meet you, your name, your background, I mean your educational background.
Okay, thank you for having me on this occasion. My name is Kelvin Usamudia Mekbomosa, properly called Kelvin, to be fair.
Okay.
And well, just me. I'm married,
Okay.
and I have a son.
Okay.
And in terms of my educational background, I schooled in Nigeria. I attended the Great University of Benin, where I obtained my bachelor's degree in nursing science. And right here in the United Kingdom, I practice as a nurse. I work in assessment unit and sometimes in emergency unit as well.
So I would like to ask, right? Of course, you're in Nigeria before, and right now you are currently in the UK. There is this mindset we have, when people want to travel outside the country. There's a kind of imagination you are going to have when you are about to travel, and then you are right in the UK. You are looking at what you imagined versus what you are currently facing. So, do you want to really explain to us what was your imagination? What did you actually meet when you actually came?
Okay, I think my scenario is quite different because when I left Nigeria, I was single.
Okay.
And before I traveled, I've always been kind of independent. Independent in the sense that I've always lived alone.
Okay.
So I don't want to use the word I was in the street. Is not the right word to use.
Okay.
I was independent. So I already understood that no matter what happened, there's always a way out. And then let me make this clear: there's always a direction to everything that a man should do on earth. Because I believe majority of the people that will be listening to us, they are Christians, or we also believe that through this medium, people also get to know Christ. So there was not so much imagination with me, to be fair. There was no imagination. So that's why I wasn't disappointed, because a lot of people believe that, when I leave Nigeria, the way they will say, oh, when I leave the ghetto, when I come abroad, everything is going to be fine. I can tell you, you'll be disappointed. It's not going to be fine. Because look at it like this, that you are living a system. Imagine maybe you are 20 years or 30 years old, so you lived your life in a particular place for the past 30 years. You don't think it's going to be a rocket science when you move to another country and then you just achieve what you couldn't achieve for the past 30 years. It doesn't work that way. So even if you are here, or you just arrived, or you are planning to come, don't overthink it. Don't expect too much from the system, because think about it. What you could do for yourself for the past 30 years, there's no system in this world that is going to do it for you for 1 year. So life is a process. Don't overthink it. One step at a time, and then you will not be disappointed. For me, there was nothing in my mind. Yeah, I was just like that little boy that left home with with a bag, and then I believed that God is going to make a way for me. And before I end this particular question, my journey was divine. Maybe before the end of this podcast, I will throw more light on it. My journey was divine. So I might not be the standard for everybody, because to some people, they saw their friend traveling, that's why they travel. Mine was not like that. Mine was based on instruction. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. There's this misconception, right, that people believe that the moment you mention that you are traveling outside the country, there's already the mindset that this guy has made it. Like, they just feel like the moment you say you are on the plane, there's this mindset that people just have that, oh, you are outside the country, they believe everything is working, you have the money, you have everything, so keep releasing it out. What do you think about that mindset? Is there a need for us to correct that mindset? If we are going to correct it, what are the measures we actually can use to measure the correction?
Okay, I would say we are the problem of ourselves, because whatever we hold as a societal value is what was taught. Man at birth, as they say, is a tabula rasa. There is nothing in it. So whatever you feed it with, that's what the perception that the world is going to take. Back home, when you see people come from abroad, they tend to show their best. They come, you see them, most of them can rent flashy cars, good clothes, with some those that like a lot of stuff, of chains, goods, and everything. So when you see them, you are seeing them at their best. You are seeing them at their best, at the top of whatever the game they think that they are playing. So back home, people see them to say, oh, this is the life I really want to live. I think this abroad changed people a lot. Don't get me wrong, it do change people. Yeah, it do change people, but it's not it's not it's not like that. It's not the way people see. It's just like, okay, now let me make it clear. When people post pictures on social media, post video on social media, they are posting their very best. So if they can take up to 10, 15 pictures, and then they select the best one out of it and they put out there. And then to somebody in their house thinking that, oh, this is the life I want to live. But the person have done a lot of editing, a lot of work have been put into what you are saying. Also, that's how people from here go back home at their best. They live in an expensive hotel, they drive good cars, or they rent good cars, they go to the best restaurants, and it's just like a vacation. Actually, they are on vacation, because after 2 or 3 weeks, they are back to their base. And then, so when they come here, it's totally, totally different. So I think the best way to live life. I'm a social media person, but I'm not a social media person. I will explain. You are likely not going to see my personal thing on social media. You won't see my family. You won't see me. You don't even know what I do. Yeah, that's me. Because I don't want my life to be the reason why somebody is going to make the wrong decision in their life. Because I might buy something or pick something that is very expensive that I don't use often. I can
Mhm.
just begin and post it and say, "Oh, I've arrived," or maybe I got a car, I mortgaged a house, and everybody just like, "Oh man, these guys have
Mm.
arrived, they bought the house." It's not like that. So live within your means,
Mm.
and then trust God to take you through the process of life. There's always a process of life,
Mm.
and life is never a rocket science. And to our brothers and sisters that travel back home, please don't oppress people. Always tell people the truth. Always tell people the truth.
Mm.
And just to let people know, do you know there are a lot of people that come back to Nigeria that stayed abroad for a couple of years? Some of them live in shared apartments.
Mm.
They don't even own the apartment to themselves. They
Mm.
they live in a shared apartment, but when they go back home, they are like, so a lot of people live better. When I mean better in terms of accommodation wise,
Mhm.
people live in a good accommodation in a better space back home. But there
Mm.
are other factors that you can also put into
Yeah.
place when it comes to that anyway.
And I would really like us to visit that particular aspect, because most people don't know what people are doing here. They feel like the job is like in Nigeria, you have a good office, you have a good laptop, you are doing your work 9 to 5, and then you go back home, relax, cool, and calm. I want to ask, what's the job like? And I really don't want you to also personalize it to your own job. Also, maybe your friends, your people that surround you. What do you think the job frame looks like in this place compared to Nigeria, and why people shouldn't really, at some point in time, expect some, because people feel like you are in abroad. Send us 2K, send us 5K. Why can't you just send that? You are outside the country,
Right.
the exchange rate is really, really amazing over there. Just send money. Like, what's the work like? Then compared also with the economic, then also with the life people actually live to get to work.
Okay, so there are a lot of factors depending on where you find yourself, and as an immigrant,
Mm.
it depends on the kind of documentation that you have.
Mm.
That's going to change your whole life.
Mm.
It- your profession that you find yourself,
Mhm.
the kind of entry. When I mean entry, the kind of your status that you are in the country, that you can be in United Kingdom, it could be in the United States, Canada, Australia, but it
Mhm.
depends on what you are doing and the kind of document that you hold.
Mm.
That's a very key factor. We need to balance on certain things in terms of the working ethics in this country is quite different from that of Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can approach your boss, you can approach people
Mhm.
easily in this country.
Mhm.
You understand? So the bureaucracy is not really there.
Mhm.
For example, so if you work in a healthcare setting, you can walk up to a consultant, no matter who. You could be an healthcare assistant, for example, and then you can walk up to a consultant. Your voice is heard.
Mm.
And then there is this job satisfaction that comes because even if your boss earn times 5 times 7 as high as you earn, there is no oppression.
Mm.
You don't
Yeah.
see it.
Mm.
So the system make it easy for everybody to belong. So
Mm.
you don't really know who is who.
Mm.
Everybody drive to work.
Mhm.
Everybody, people live in their respective houses.
So that means car is not
No, no,
a.
no. Car is not a yardstick for you to say this person is rich or this person is poor.
Mm.
Somebody can, okay, I have someone that drives a Range Rover. I don't want to say the kind of job that he does. She drives a Range Rover. That's just to let you know. So it doesn't matter. Just
Mm.
like the same way phone doesn't really matter. Somebody can be using iPhone 17 and is a cleaner. It doesn't change anything. So
Mm.
your phone, the car you drive doesn't really determine your financial status because anybody can actually
Balance
yeah,
life
can balance life with
with
this. You
whatever
understand?
they.
So you can see somebody that is on a minimum wage and be driving a 2025 car. I know
Mm.
some people will say, "Oh, no, it's finance, it's paying small, small," but that's the truth. But because even back home, there is no luxury of that factor. Imagine that you need to work for 20 years to manage to build three-bedroom house that you are going to enter at your retirement with
Mm.
your little gratuity to quickly maintain it and buy a car of 1993, sorry
Mm.
to say, or 2002. So there's no really life to enjoy. But
Mm.
over here, people live in their present and enjoy what they are working for. And
Mm.
I know you can say people are living in debt. Even in that debt that you are living in, they are enjoying it.
Mm.
So that's the kind of work system. And over here, you can become anything. The system is open. You
Mm.
can become anything. And back home, people believe in having a PhD. That's why you see somebody have a degree, he hasn't been able to secure a job with that degree. Somebody's already encouraging him. When you do masters, you get more opportunity. Somebody will say, oh, if you do PhD, you get more opportunity. Over here, it's like that if you want to go into academics and some certain kind of jobs, but nobody really pay attention to those things. Your boss can be a diploma holder. It doesn't change anything. So that balance it up. So there's a kind of job satisfaction. So nobody looks down on you what kind of job that you do. But compared to back home, somebody see a cleaner and be talking to a cleaner. Even our movie portray that. You see our movie, the boss portrayed we ridicule a gate man, ridicule a domestic staff, just make the person feel worthless of himself, but over here it's not. There are policies that are put into place. Even if you are up there, you cannot raise your voice at as somebody that you think that is below, it can cost you your job. Even as a boss, you see cases whereby even the CEO of a company can resign because of some things that happen in this. So that just to tell you the kind of work satisfaction that is here. I know a lot of immigrants might not agree with me because some of them might be a bank manager back home. A lot of them were having more stable kind of Oga kind of job that we call Oga. When they arrived here, it was totally different. So it happens that way. You have lived your life like 30 or 40 years back home and you are coming to a system and you only spend about 2 to 3 years. You can't expect to be up there. People are already up there before you arrive. So you need to find your way and then you need to climb the ladder. That's it.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. I also for we Nigerians, people really depend on us, especially people that have traveled outside the country. How will you rate, reaching out to people back at home? How will you rate the level of dependence that should be placed on people that are actually here on money matters? Will you say they should expect more? There are sometimes you hear stories like people just lay demands, send me this, send me that, because they feel you're actually there.
I would say it also depends on the kind of family that you are from and your circumstances back home. So I won't say don't give, I won't say give. But what I'm going to say is, you know where you are from. You know how you got to where you are. And you know the kind of help that you can render to people. In as much as there's so much demand on people abroad, especially for a family that probably the siblings are not doing well, and you are the person abroad is the most financially stable, in quotes, so there's a lot of people that are going to depend on you. People will call you. I would say do what you can do, but don't do it at the expense of your own financial stability. Because I'm sorry if I'm using this word, that you are the only one that have seen light. So you need to guide that light with everything that you have. Because if anything happens to it, nobody else can rise. And then there is this mindset that we have, and it's also an encouragement to people back home. If at all you need financial assistance from anyone abroad, approach them as a business-minded person. Let us stop this issue of send me 2,000, send me 3,000, send me 4,000, send me 5,000. My guy, I'm in somewhere, I just need 20K. Those things are not help. But it's also putting financial strain on the person sending you the money, because you are not the only person making that call. So let's assume that you called me, maybe I'm your friend, I'm your brother, you called me today, you need 10,000 naira. At the same time, maybe like 4, 5, or 6 person calling me at the same time. As if I send 10,000 to 10 people, how much is that?
100,000.
That's 100,000 in a day. And in a couple of days, that thing is going to repeat itself.
Sure.
Then that costs me up to 300,000-400,000 naira in a month. But that cycle will continue because that money will not give anybody financial freedom. So if at all you need help or you need some financial assistance from anybody that is abroad and you are back home, approach the person with a business mindset. Oh, I have this business idea. This project is going to cost me 2-3 million naira, for example, and I have 1.5 million. I need 1.5 million. So normally, somebody will say, oh, yes, I think this is a very good idea. Somebody can try you and say, let's see what is going to come out of it. And then that is also a way for you to also build yourself back home. And then there will be less dependent on those abroad. So let us change this narrative, in as much as I believe that some people will say, now we chop. And I go think of business. But there is never there's no weird when there is no hunger. There's no place in the world. If you come around, go to, you see people begging for money.
Yeah.
It happened everywhere.
Yeah.
So, but you be the one to choose the path that you have to choose. Either you suffer today, enjoy tomorrow, or beg today, beg tomorrow, and beg for the rest of your life.
So let's just take a little dive into the work ethics itself. You know, someone is going to work from here, and then you went to work, because this place is about shift or no shift and all of those things. So you went to work morning shift, and then you get back, you are so tired, planning to go to work again the next day. And the work mode here is not like Nigeria, whereby you can relax, you can have some time for yourself, you can tell your boss, please, I want to do this. Yeah, immediately you tell your boss you want to do something, you should know that that time is taken from your money, and nobody have to beg or say, I have a senior that will come and beg for me, right? So now, looking at all those things that you face, the challenges you face at work and all, some people will then say, oh, I sent him a message, he didn't reply me. I sent it the second day, he didn't reply me. I sent the third day, what's he doing? Is he only the only one that feels like? And meanwhile, some of these people are trying to get their balance, couple with the weather,
Yeah.
couple with everything. What do you actually advise should be the right perspective, when relating with people outside the country? Should they believe that it's just the same thing like Nigeria, that when you call, you expect that this person should see the message in 1 or 2?
Well, there is no amount of preaching that will say that will make people understand. That's the simple truth, because the system back home is different from the system here. Until you get into the system, you're likely not going to understand. I have a friend that when we're back home, we'll say, this guy, I called him, I sent him a message, he didn't respond. I was laughing. Then we were back in Nigeria. They said the guy was here, and all of us now came here. I tried calling him about 2 days ago. Till now, he hasn't responded to my call. Am I angry? The answer is no, I'm not, because I'm in the system, I understand.
Yeah.
So back home, the system is different, because if you look at back home, somebody can stay with no work, and then he would believe that he's going to pay his rent, and he will pay his rent. Somebody can be living in a 3-bedroom house, and then he's going to pay at the end of the year, and he does not have 10% of 15% of that money half of the year. So you just have 6 months to complete the money, So,
Yeah.
But over here, you pay every month. So there's a target that you need to meet. And then with the job, you can, it's not like in a prison, depending on where you work. You understand? It's not the right ethic for you to be, you're on the phone, you are working. You can't do it here.
Can't do it.
You are working, you are on break, you're on break. You understand? So it's difficult for us to explain what we go through until you actually come here. So you come into the system. I'll give you a scenario. My baby is about 6 months old, and then I stay at home one day. My wife traveled to the next city to do something. Oh my goodness. This boy was on my chest all through. Then I understood what my wife had been going through. Because I just wake up in the morning, I carry my bag, I come back in the evening, like 12 hours, 13 hours, I come back, I play with my boy for like a few hours, and then that's it, I sleep off. But until she actually left that boy with me for a few hours. And then I couldn't have my bath, I couldn't do anything. I didn't eat. So I have to carry him after this. Then I realized that, even this woman have to go through these things, and most of the time she will also cook something for me to eat.
Yeah.
So until you find yourself in that situation, you might not be able to explain it. Like just saying somebody, it's easy for you to walk up to somebody, especially in the healthcare setting, say, sorry, we lost him. It's easy for you to say, but it happens to you. You know that it's not easy at all. That's how the work also is. So back home, you think, you should be just receive my call. How much? You just convert £5 to, that's about almost 10,000 naira. Just send it like that, So, but those money they are actually very important to the person. And let us also know that nobody give you money here. That one is a standard thing. Nobody give you money.
Nobody gives you money here.
Nobody give you money here. So whatever that you work, it is what you are going to get. So do we find grace? Yes, we do. We find favor in terms of maybe promotions and opportunities come like that.
Yeah.
But when you say you are working in a place, somebody tips you. That people don't tip people like that in this country. They do that in America, fine. But yeah, And there are some certain job that you'll be doing is prohibited. You cannot take money. I remember when we were planning for our wedding, and somebody gave my wife about £100. She has to return it because the circumstances surrounding the money, she can't take it. It's against work ethics. That's how bad it is. So when you see somebody send you 10,000 or 20,000, the person actually worked for that money. So no matter how little anybody send you money, I think you should come from the heart of appreciation to say thank you. Because if it was easy, you will have not been asking for the money.
You know, this thing really makes sense because I was discussing with someone, and the person said, if I would give you a 10,000 naira of my money, the person said, you must really, really matter to me. Not only matter, you must actually be on an advantage side for me. And it really makes, because you know, most people just feel like, oh, there's someone that can send them money. And with what you just mentioned, I just come to think about it. Nobody really just sit down and say, oh, I just feel I'm just give you this money. So it really means that for every hours or for every money anybody gains, they must have worked for. And the working is not like Nigeria's work. Like, you feel all your body working. You feel from your head to toe that you are really, really doing something. Thank you.
Let me just add something. Some people have to go to work to keep money for all these calls and all these requests. Some people have to go and work maybe additional
Extra.
12-hour shift. Some of them can work up to 22-hour shifts in a different day anyway, to ensure that, so you know what, let me do this additional 2 shifts so that when I collect the money, I'll be able to respond to people requests. But people don't know that. So somebody is going to leave his house or a house with maybe a 0 degree, -1 degree during winter, or minus whatever degree.
I was coming there also.
And then they will go there, go to work and come back. So they will collect the money, not for themselves.
Because they really want to just send
Because they want to send out.
Wow.
Because they have their own plan, whether you like it or not. You know, people convert money easily. But mind you, people spend money in pounds, they are not in naira. People pay rent in pounds. So whatever people do it in pounds. You know, so I might send you 100,000, for example. It might be big, it might be small, whatever the circumstances that you find yourself. But that 100,000, let me say, is about maybe 50 pounds or 52 pounds or 53 pounds, no matter, depending on the exchange rate. I can tell you that 53 pounds is going to do so much for me. Yeah, it might be very small amount, but it's very, very significant in terms of economic value of that money. You understand? So whenever you receive anything, it amazes me when people I think a lot of people have been complaining about it. They send people money and then people just put on that thanks. So to them, like, you don't even know the sacrifices that they have made to ensure that money gets to you. And let me just say, it is evil for somebody to sit in his or her house to try to trick people abroad to collect money from their hand when you actually don't need it. It's an evil thing. Like, you can call your brother, you call your sister, because you really want to eat chicken, or you really want to eat turkey somewhere, or you really want to take yourself out, and then you just call your person and say, find me something, and then the person say you 20,000, thinking that you actually need that money for something urgent, and then you will dress up in the money and then take yourself to fast and go and eat the money. It's evil. Because even the person that sent you that money might not have that opportunity to do it. So it's evil. Don't do it.
This is really, really important. And I really wish that many people will watch this and they really learn from it, because you see, people here are looking for people that are very appreciative, people that can also not just be part of that system of asking, but really ask for the essence of providing solution to wherever they are, so that when they see them next time, they say, oh wow, you have done this, you have done this. It will gladden their heart to also really invest in people. So let me just now it down as we are wrapping up, right? The aspect of the weather conditions, right? You know, the weather condition here is far different from Nigeria. You can really achieve a whole lot of things without stress and all of those things. You feel like, okay, the weather is good for me. How can you relate the weather conditions with the work, with the work mode, and also your zeal to really even go to work? Because people really need to understand what is actually happening here compared to what is happening there.
Okay. So, well, there are different weather conditions, seasons. Yeah, I think we are almost entering proper summer now. Now, if summer is fine, people go to work in summer. There's not really problem anyway. But during winter, is a whole lot. It's a different thing entirely. You are in, even where we are, people are saying that, oh, our temperature is not too bad, weather condition is not bad. Probably you have highest -3, it feels like -4, 5, -5 as the case may be. But there are other people like places like Canada, Russia, people can go up to -20, and then you have to go to work
Yeah,
because you need to pay your
you
bills.
still have to go to
You
work.
have to go to work. So imagine that you are coming out of your house, entry to a freezer. That's the language I'm going to put it.
And you can't call your boss that you can't come today because you have. Will you be paid if you even call them?
On the circumstances and where you work actually.
Mm.
So there must be a reason why you shouldn't come to work. But you won't say, especially there's an extremely bad weather condition and you are not part of the essential workers, and maybe there's an announcement by the government that people should stay in their houses, and they look for alternative how people go to work or people work from home for that period to ensure that they can meet their target.
But aside
But
that, you face the.
outside that, you face it. You will wake up in the morning and go to work. So and then your life become more terrible when you don't drive.
Hmm.
And then maybe you have to walk about 15 to 20 minutes before you get to your work, and you are going to work.
And again, that goes back to talking about that car is not luxury here.
No, to me, car is not a luxury. Car is a necessity.
You just need it.
You just need it. You just need to drive, because if you, and then to get the license is another problem anyway. So that's another story for another day. You have to, if you can. I advise people that you should be able to drive if you can drive. You can have not really afford it. You just need to, except you live close to your work, or there's a very good transport network in your city, and then places like London and other bigger cities have their very good, like almost every 5, 10, 15 minutes you always see a bus anyway. If you miss one, you enter the second one, something like that. But outside that, you must work no matter the condition. I know Nigeria has its own condition. That sun is terrible. Sometimes it rains.
Yeah.
There is erosion everywhere. People still have to go to work. It's almost like, I would say, every country has their own peculiar problem.
But as a Nigerian coming
As a
here,
Nigeria coming here, you are facing different things. For our mamas that have come to the UK, they can testify. Even some of them now appreciate their children,
Great.
because when they wake up in the morning, they cannot even move out of their bed.
And they still have to go to work.
Yeah, you have to go to work. You don't have any choice. Some of them stay close to the door and be looking at their kids and say, "So you are going to enter into this place?" But you don't have choice. You have to go to work. It's not easy. As I think I watched somebody's video, somebody was saying that rich people don't come to the UK. Even when rich people come here, they study and they go back. There's
Yeah.
poor people that stays here. So the same thing, because people are trying to get, just to find a better place, better life, or set up themselves up. But you will have to go to work. You don't have choice. The only choice that you have is that probably you are living with someone, or you are living with your husband, and your husband
You're going to pay your
is
bills.
doing high paid job, and you pay your bills, and then
Mm.
you sleep in your house. But if not, you will have to
Go
you
to
have
work.
to work.
Wow. Let me just ask just two more questions about this racism, right? Because I've heard of people talk about, oh, because of this racism of a thing, they feel so depressed. Some have had to change jobs. Some don't even want to work there again. And Nigerians are battling with some of these things, and yet at home there's a different calling, a different pressure, and all of those things. Oh, you have not done this for us, you have not done this for, and yet they are trying to get their sanity, trying to get their self used to the environment. What do you think should be the proper mindset in dealing with these things?
Whether we like it or not, some people face racism like so bold, they can feel it, that these guys are racist towards me. But some people, so racism can be very subtle. You can't see it, but it's there. But in as much as I don't want to dwell on it, because I believe that I am the change. I change people, people don't change me. No matter the system I find myself. So first of all, when you get into a place, you need to look for all the policies and the leverages that you can get. That's what we don't do. We don't read it. We don't look at it. We play the victim card. So when you walk in a place, there are policies there that you need to go and read it, because that's your leverage.
Mm.
So when something happens and you play on those policies, then they say no.
Mm.
They'll say, so racism is there, but what is the consolation?
Mm.
I will tell you something. I don't know how far this video is going to go, but
Mm.
I will say something. Whether we like it or not, replace racism with tribalism and then you balance the equation.
Mm.
Replace
Mm.
the word racism with tribalism and then you
Mm.
balance it.
Mm.
How many people can move from the south and go to the north and get a job?
Mm.
How many people can come from the north, go to the west to get a job? How many people can leave the eastern part of the country and go to another region to get a job? Look
Mm.
at it that way. So
Mm.
before people start crying racism, blah, 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 replace the word racism with what? With tribalism.
Tribalism.
So if you remove it and then you'll be able to balance it, that these things that we talk about
Mm.
is not peculiar to this country.
Mm.
It happens everywhere. So but what is the way out of it? First of all, as I said, look at the policies that govern your place. And
Okay.
then you must, as an immigrant or wherever you find yourself, you must know when to quit.
Mm.
If there's a place that you get to for your mental health, look for alternative and then move, because there's
Mm.
always a place to move before it become messy to the place that you can't. It's going to spoil your reputation and everything.
Yeah.
You can't leave.
Mm.
You understand? So when you work in a place, be spiritually, physically, emotionally, intellectually sensitive to your working environment. It gets to a point you know that this is time for me. This is it. This is time for me to what?
Great.
For me to live. So if you have explored all your areas and everything and you think that it's still is there, you
Mm.
move. There's another place as well. So it's not, you are
Wow.
not tied to that place.
The last question, right? I would like to ask as regard your wins. Of course, you've been here. Do you think you've had any wins so far?
As I grow every day, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely there are a lot. There are a lot of wins. Because my entry was different, as I said earlier. So I can't really understand some people struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Some people struggle for a couple of years. It's different for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I came in single. I'm married. I have a son.
Beautiful.
Yes. So a couple of other because we're online. There are some
Yeah,
stuff I
yeah,
can't say.
yeah.
But yes, overall, yes, there
Wow,
is a
wow,
win
that's
overall. But in
amazing.
terms of academics, I haven't really probably pursue my masters or something. But
Yeah,
I've written other professional exams, past
exams.
exams, and all
Wow,
that stuff.
wow.
Relaxation with other different part of the country. So there is a win,
Yeah.
there's advancement,
Yeah.
so, and I will say that don't be too hard on yourself,
Mm.
because that's where the problem is. That's how a lot of people will just die young.
Mm.
you know don't be too hard on yourself. What you did not achieve for the past 10 years, you want to achieve it in 1 year. For me, I don't think it's worth it for you to overdo things. In as
Mm.
much as you have your plan, as the Bible says, precept upon precept,
Mm.
they
Line by line.
yeah, line by line. So just like that every day. So the only thing that you can do for yourself is, do you have your goals? Do you have a plan? It can be
Mm.
short-term plan, it's going to be long-term plan. So as long as you have all these things in place,
Mm-hmm.
work towards it. And then I try not to compare myself with anybody.
Mm.
I am me, you are
Mm.
you.
Mm.
So I've had this discussion with a lot of people, business people.
Mm.
I sometimes I admire their zeal, I admire their stuff.
Mm.
So for me, I believe that I have had that. My level of
Mm.
reasoning have changed. The
Yeah.
kind of things I want to do. Currently, I'm working on a project that
Mm.
it's a project, because I'm still working. It's still in the
Yeah.
structure phase. We are still trying to put some things together with other
Mm.
team members.
Mm.
This is all I've added. That's the
Well,
summary.
and lastly, your advice to people in Nigeria, maybe they want to move, they want to travel to the UK. What would be your advice, your general advice to them, or don't travel outside the country?
Okay, so I'll put it two ways,
Okay.
because the same advice that goes to people back home is, say, some people need advice in this country.
Even in the country.
Yeah, they need advice. So Uh, um, I think I have a friend that called me about 2 years ago, telling me, "Oh, I want to travel with this or this." And I just said, "You know what? Why do you want to travel?" You see, so because before you say you want to,
Mm-hmm.
what is the reason?
Mm.
Is it because your friend are traveling, you want to travel? You'll be so disappointed.
Mm.
You'll be so disappointed. So as I said earlier, I moved by instruction. It
Mm.
was by instruction.
Mm.
That's why. So I can't say I'm regretting anything at the minute. No, no, because I moved by instruction. So you don't look at somebody's to say I want to do this thing because you don't know what is motivating the person. It's just like if somebody that the prophecy is over, they say, oh, go and start frying akara in the junction of your house. The
Mm.
person got an instruction from God.
Mhm.
Eh, if you wake up in the morning and go and open and start frying akara in the next junction, you'll be so disappointed.
Mm.
That's the one thing first. So you want to travel is a brilliant idea. You want to live where you are to another place is a good idea. The question is, why do you want to travel?
Mm.
So if you cannot solve the why problem, don't leave your house. So if you solve the why problem,
Mm.
you are good to go. And
Mm.
then please, please and please, please and please, if you want to travel, travel well.
Mm.
Life will be easier for you. That's
Mm.
what I can say.
Mm.
Because a lot of people are trapped.
Mm.
When they say, "Oh, UK is a trap. This is a trap," it's not everybody that fall into that trap. But there are some steps that you will take.
Mm.
Your entry point into the country can be a trap for you.
Wow.
I've seen people trapped 10 years, 15 years. They
Mm.
are trapped, and then you see somebody that came into the country for like 2 or 3 years. He has done like
Great progress.
way progress because the person started on the right path.
Mm.
So travel, good. All the information that you need to have them.
Mm.
Where you are going to, you need to, you know, get a lot of information on where you are going to. And then, in as much as the Bible said the expectation of the righteous will not be cut short, it's good to have expectation, but don't have imagination. They are two different things. Having expectation and imagination, they are two different things. So
Mm.
don't think that when you come here at the airport, somebody wave at you and give you Ghana, you will sleep in the train station. There is nobody that will come to help you. So that's one. So have your plan, follow the right path,
Mm.
ask questions,
Mm.
and then when you come over, look for a good community.
Mm.
Is very important. You cannot live life in isolation here. Even in Nigeria, you can't live life in isolation in Nigeria.
Mm.
And for those that are already here,
Mm.
in as much as people don't show it
Mm.
with these immigration laws and everything,
Yeah.
a lot of people are life are on the edge. They don't. There's a lot of uncertainty in the life of people as we
Mm.
speak.
Mm.
A lot of uncertainty. So no matter where you find yourself, you are here. Build your good community for yourself.
Mm.
Look for long-term goals. Plan yourself. Move with people
Mm.
with good mind.
Mm.
Look, sometimes you can come to a point in your life where you just need people, good
Mm.
people that you can talk to. People will just help you. I've experienced the help of God through men
Mm.
in this country.
Mm.
So it's where that's what happened. I remember somebody spoke to me some time ago and said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "You know what? I can't. Where I am is far from you. There's little or nothing I can do for where I am.
Mm.
In that place that you are, look for a good community. Go to church, and the person, no, no, I don't like this church, I don't like this church. Okay.
Mm.
You don't need to like it. You just need to find a good community. It was from my church that somebody helped me. Like when I mean help, when my wife was pregnant and my baby, you don't see people came to my house, people were helping me.
Mm.
I was like, what? So you can find this kind of people can live their,
They're based to just.
time is money in this country. So if
Mm.
somebody spent 2 3 hours with you,
Mm.
that's more than money. I
Mm.
think that's another reward that we get. Instead of
Yeah.
people giving you money, people
Yeah.
give you their time. Because
Mm.
for me to give you 5 hours of my
I
time,
could have gone to
I could
work
have just gone to work
and
and
make money.
collect my money. So, but the person value you and
Mm.
stay with you. And
Mm.
this is the kind of relationship that money cannot buy in this country. So,
Mm.
if you are here, you need to identify those people
Mm.
and then your job, your career, wherever you find yourself, if you want to progress, you need to look for mentors and people that are ahead of you that can coach you to become what you want to become.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. We sincerely appreciate these words of advice, encouragement, and also sensitization. And I believe you've learned a lot also. And very soon we are going to have more time to also have more discussions. Maybe you have something you want us to talk about, you want us to discuss on, and or anything, right? Or you have some comments, you have some questions you would like to ask, of course, you can use the comment sections. And do well to please share the video with someone, ensure the video reach out to someone, most especially people in the UK and people in Nigeria, just for them to learn one or two things. Thank you so much for watching.